Welcome to Trophy Tour Victoria, round number 4, brought to you this weekend by the Sports Sedan Association of Victoria. And we have got a ripping day of motorsport teed up for you. And we have got the first item on the menu after a huge entree yesterday. There was about 37 entree items to enjoy yesterday. Rounded out yesterday with a 3-hour production car race. If you missed it, well, check it all out on YouTube at Blendline TV, our broadcast partners. Of course, they will be broadcasting today's event right across the entire day with the Superkarts as they make their way out on track all the way to the end of the sports cars at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Let's get right into the racing. Right beside me, Scott Williams from Superkarts here for the Victorian State titles. Welcome, Scott.
Morning. It's nice and windy out here at the normally sunny Sandown.
It is. Well, it's a tailwind really for these guys down the straight, so they're going to arrive at turn 1 very, very quickly after this rolling start. Let's rip through this grid sheet as we see the karts making their way around. Tim Clark on pole had electrical issues yesterday that you told us about after he had that issue at turn 4.
Yes, he's managed to rewire the kart overnight, so he'll be starting off pole in the 125 gearbox class.
Then it's James Bowden right alongside Colin McIntyre, the number 7 Victorian there, James Starr. We go to Brad Stebbing, Bobby Jane, who has been on the cameras for 2 spins at turn 4. Let's hope Bobby can start out of 6 and at least finish in that place or somewhere further up for his joy today. Jack Schuster to Finn White and Lee Filipino. We go back to the next category, which will have Sanj Pereira on pole position with Russ Okapinti, a name very famous with this style of racing. Patrick Ross to Hayden Veld, Alexandra Maltarik, Zara Scarcella. Let's hope that Zara can improve in the number 97. Jess Zanjic, Liam Cowan, Zen Kramer and Darren Tyler. And then the third group lining up will be on pole with Tyler Williams, Martin Anderson, Rod Clark, Stuart Robertson, John Fife and Alan Doig. Tricky conditions, Scott. What do the karters do to set themselves up for these greasy, damp conditions?
Well, obviously they're going out on wet weathers tyres. There's actually 2 flag drops today for the 2 groups that have done this. There's 125 flag drop up gearbox, which is strung out there a bit, and there'll be another flag drop here. But a lot of the guys would have softened the chassis up, go actually up in tyre pressures in the wet weathers as opposed to the normal ones.
Coming down into turn 1, big slide there, people grabbing brakes, just managing to work out what's underneath them. But once you put a wet set of tyres on, they pump the road dry. That's tricky through the wet conditions there. What happens in this situation is that the visor just gets a whole big splash of dirty water on it, and visibility certainly starts to become an issue, doesn't it?
Yeah, there'll be a lot of guys just feeling out this first lap. They haven't experienced a wet weather track here over the weekend, so this is new territory for most of them. I'm expecting there's a couple of Tim Clark. Oh, here we go. Rod Clark, father of Tim's actually gone around here backwards.
I tell you what, he was lucky to miss that big puddle of water down on the inside
He's trying not to get himself bogged there at the moment.
All in their plastic suits over the top of their leathers and their driving suits.
Now, Rod will get going again here because the 125 rotax class actually features a push-button start, so he'll be able to rejoin, albeit at the back of the field.
Strung out up the back straight now, as you said, Scott. Just everyone just feeling around a bit that the track they've had basically a lap around under pace, and their next time around they are absolutely wild and free down into Dandenong Road. The standing water, which was traditionally on the inside of that corner, that's been rectified here at Sandown, but if the rain does get heavy, we will start to see that becoming an issue here. Getting pretty lively amongst this group. Under brakes there on the puddle, and see the back end trying to come round.
Yeah, well, there's only rear brakes on the 125 rotax classes, so they're going to be very unstable under brakes. Of course, the 125 gearbox class with Clark's leading at the moment from Australia and McIntyre, they have 4-wheel brakes, so they can go a lot deeper and will be a lot more settled. But it's interesting, there's a few guys jostling for position here down the straight. It doesn't seem to be quite the slipstreaming we had yesterday. I think people want to make sure that they've got a bit of space in between themselves.
Just again, for those that aren't familiar with the different number plates and the different colours, what do they actually mean?
So we've got on screen at the moment is at the front there's a 125 gearbox, red number plate, white number. The Rotax Max Light, features a white number plate with red numbers, and then the guys at the back is Rotax Heavy, blue number plates with the fluoro yellow numbers.
Climbing up the hill. This will be quite the climb today. That's a headwind and a slight rise, so they'll be feeling that. They don't have a lot of frontal area, but when you throw in a headwind, it certainly does start to slow the speed down as they get to the top of the hill. Yeah,
it looks like Pereira there's leading the Rotax Light class. Clark's still the leader of the 125 gearbox, and we've got... just going back through the field of the heavy, looks like Martin Anderson in the lead of the Rotax Heavy boys.
Blue flags frantically being waved as the classes start to intermingle. Oh, a little bit of a clip on the way through there for the kart slowing down. That was the 37 of white, and the 97 now spinning. So a bit of a clip on the way through for your troubles.
Yeah, I mean, it's we'll see. That's Williams going around there sideways. He was the leader of that class. He's got the hand up there, ignoring the yellow.
Tyler Williams, your son?
Yeah, my offspring now. There'll be a talking to back in the pits afterwards.
Well, he kept off everything around him. He just didn't do too much damage. Only damage is the result for the day.
Yeah, he's going to have to do a bit of attack from the back now. But we've got Pereira still holding out Veld here and Okapinti. I'd actually be putting my money. Okapinti is a master in the wet, so I don't know if he's just biding his time here or he's going to do a late race thing, but he could slipstream up the back here and take him.
Hayden Veld in the mix there as well, so the three fastest karts, pole, second and third for this class, they're well and truly engaged with each other climbing up the hill.
Yeah, there's a bit of a slipstream battle up the back here too with... They're closing in on a couple of the slower 125 gearbox karts there in front of them.
That's Pereira and Veld and Okapinti just sitting back in the 93. Just a kart length away there, so...
Clark's still leading the 125 gearbox by a handy margin back 15.9 seconds.
That's a huge gain, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. The Woodgate chassis that they use, there's two main chassis in the 125 gearbox class, the Anderson and the Woodgate. The Woodgate uses a 5-inch rim, which they can actually use a softer tyre, which is good in the wet, whereas the Anderson is made in England use a 6-inch tyre, which has a smaller sidewall, so the tyres are limited in that category to actually what a 250 kart would normally run, which is nearly 60 kilometres an hour faster, so you can get the optimum temperature into them. So they do the Andersons do struggle a lot more in the wet over a Woodgate chassis.
Great shots there, the cameraman down at turn one. You could almost see the drivers changing their mind there, looking into the visor. We saw Bobby Jane in the 77 getting through. A little bit of a tangle up here, so acknowledging that there is something exiting turn 4. We've not seen that, but certainly yellow's being waved there, so that's generally around the corner. Oh, there's the GP kart. That's a shame, it's facing the wrong way. Here he is. And well and truly looped it under gas coming off the corner there. Kept it running momentarily, but then had to step away.
Pereira still leading from Okapinti here and Veld. It obviously cleared the Bowden kart and back into green flag racing.
And they're being joined by Liam Cowan now, actually. So Liam's worked pretty hard to get right back onto the back of these. That's the all-white fairing in behind the 53 there of Hayden Veld.
Okapinti making a charge to the lead now in the light class.
What's the strategy with the karts, Scott? Is it stay with the group and then in the last lap try and sort yourselves out, or you try and get away and escape from the pack now?
Well, it looks like Okapini's gone back behind these couple and had a look over the last couple of laps. We're heading into the latter part of the race here, and he's chosen his time to see what they're doing. Normally in dry conditions, it'll be a slipstream battle, especially up the back there into the Dandenong Road and into there. He's trying to break that cycle, because otherwise Pereira can go back over it. It looks like Pereira's had a moment there.
Yeah, it does. We've lost Pereira.
He's dropped back behind Veld. Okapini's got a good gap. They're still acknowledging there the hand up, the yellows coming out of that corner there, but Okapini's got that little bit of a gap, and I think he should be right now. He's chosen the last lap to sort of break him, although in saying that, they're right back on the back of him again now.
This is Bobby Jane cresting the hill. He's had a couple of turn 4 incidents in yesterday's racing, but staying nice and clear out by himself there, so Bobby's pushing on there, getting himself a result to the finish. This is a great battle.
Pereira's gone from third to first at the back there, talking about the slipstream.
And Russell Pinty's now gone to the back there. So last lap round he was leading at that corner, now gone back to P3 in that class battle. And still out in front, Tim Clark is absolutely doing a tremendous job. He has had some issue though, because it's now back to 4 seconds. So Stebbing is now, I say that, I meant that was the gap between second and third. Still 23 seconds out in front.
Yeah, with Bowden spinning there on the back straight.
Check flag is at the ready. The last lap board being blown out of our Crow's Nest handler's hand there, so it is very windy out there today, which is terrific. We're getting rid of the water. And
Veld got the win there over both Pereira and Okapini. So used the drive out of the last corner, a bit of a slipstream to the line, and he's mugged them.
Absolutely done it. So Tim Clark has done a terrific job there. And on the last lap there, James Stra's come back 2 spots as well, so the battle raging there. It looks like we've lost Stebbing, although there might be a timing transponder problem there. Stebbing gets through now, so getting to the line. Brad starting out at 5th place, ultimately home in 3rd. The driver conduct as far as acknowledging the flags in the karts is amazing. They let each other know that they've observed those flag signals and letting them through. A couple of sharkers being chucked there, so getting through in the wet, a bit of a celebratory response there.
Well, I think they're just showing the appreciation to the officials that are actually standing out there in this beautiful Melbourne weather.
Yes, it is. Well, when you look at it now, just those karts going around with their wets, they've actually dragged a lot of the water up. So whilst the wind will be, it will hurt their speed going up the back straight, the good thing about the wind is that when the water gets picked up, it does get blown off the track. So that does help. With the XLs coming up next, they've got a full treaded tyre as well. So that will help also. So there we have it. There is the Superkarts race number 2 provisional results.
Good to see Bobby Jane make it to the finish.
Bobby Jane making it through into 77. Yep, got lots of airtime there as well. So Clark, Stra, Stebbing, McIntyre, Bobby Jane and Schuster. And then we go to, in the end, the 53 of Hayden Veld beat home Sanchez, Pereira and Russell Kapinti. Zen, Kramer, Alex Melderick. Lee Filippono, who was part of the first grid there as well, and Finn White, who had a troubled run yesterday as well. Then we have the heavies,
Martin Anderson there taking the victory in the heavies. Tyler Williams getting back up to 2nd. Stuart Robinson, John Fife, and Patrick Ross.
Jess Sanjay, Rod Clark, Alan Doig, James Bowden, who was part of the class non-finisher there, parked up at the exit of turn 4, and Zara Scasella didn't take the grid there. She might have had some damage from yesterday, that turn 4 incident.
I just saw her in the pit. She was ready to go out. Unless she's had a an issue on the roll round lap, or hasn't made the start line on the first lap. All the karts from yesterday's incident there, the red flag, the first race, were back on the grid this morning.
Well, that's Superkarts, their first race for the day, done and dusted. Thank you very much, Scott. Really appreciate your input with the Victorian state titles.